Hi, garden friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Era, and this is Gardening on Purpose. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I garden in Georgia, Zone 8A, where I do gardening-related videos. It's Sunday, and it's time for a Sunday walkabout. Now, I know it's been a while because I had a birthday the other day, and we went away on vacation. I'm finally back and ready to get back into this garden. Now, the first thing I want to show you is that I have cleaned up this area here. Remember this area here where it's on a slope coming down from my house, and I had a bunch of cardboards right here? Well, I finally have an appointment for a tree guy to come cut that tree down, that tree right there, right? And I finally moved everything out their way. Now, I don't mind if they damage the pansies and the cabbage and the kale. I just don't want to have to move them. But I got a really great price, guys. They're coming on Tuesday to cut 2 trees down. So I'm very excited. So what I did, I moved the cardboard out the way because once they move that tree, then I could definitely start putting in all those clearance plants that I had here are going to go right here on this slope. So as you can see, I moved the cardboard and it pretty much killed everything, right? It looks like this thing was actually graded, but this is the work of cardboard. Now, if I come in closer, you're going to see still, some stragglers are in here that was trying to find some light somewhere and came up. I'll pull those out. But one of the reasons I moved the cardboard really was because when it's time to plant, I don't want the cardboard in my way. I want to be able to plant and I can move the cardboard back between the plants. But for now, this is what it's looking like where it's on a slope. And I'm definitely going to put in these clearance plants in. Now, of course, at the front, you can see all the pansies and all the cabbage and kale that I had put in because pansies do really, really great in this weather. They like the cooler weather. And as you can see, all these beautiful colors. The kale and the cabbage are doing absolutely amazing. You guys know I'm a big fan of pansies. Once the guys come on Tuesday and cut these trees down, I really will come in here and start really cleaning up all these little weeds and stuff back here. But I'm very, very excited about what the possibilities are for this area here in the front of my house. Let me back up again so you get a better idea of where this is. This is what I see when I am pulling into my driveway. And my neighbor actually just told me he thought these were fake. I was like, no, 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 no. These are real plants. You really thought... I don't know if I've mentioned this before, guys, but I am not a fan of fake plants. And I definitely would not have put fake plants at the front of my yard. These are actual pansies. And you guys know pansies have all the colors of the rainbow. They have red, orange, pink, yellow, white. They have dual colors. They're really, really nice. So I was really happy that he noticed it. But when he said it looked fake, I was like, oh, wow, that's actually a good testament to the fact that pansies are the bright light. Here we are on the 28th of December, 2025. Right here, I actually put some stepping stones here because when we come out the car, right, the person in the back seat usually comes and they stomp on these guys are my ajugas. So I moved some of the ajugas and I put a little pathway here so people can walk up to the door. So that's great. I'm really happy I did that. And I should have actually done that before because what was happening was that all these ajugas, you guys, I'm a big fan of ajuga. Ajuga is this guy is a ground cover. And they do really, really well in the part shade to part sun to the shade. Now, they were right here on this edge. I moved them over this way so that when somebody comes out the car, their foot lands right here and they won't feel uncomfortable and they definitely won't be killing my plants. So I'm really, really excited, guys. All right, guys, so you recognize my foundation. Nothing much has changed here, but what I do like about my foundation is that it actually shows signs of life. I like my foundation to be all evergreen. Nothing here is going to things will go dormant, but they won't lose their leaves or anything. So I have things like ropey, which blooms a purple. I have Touch of Gold Holly, which is this beautiful, nice burst of sunshine. I've got Nandina, which is a really nice evergreen. I've got Camellia that blooms pink. I've got Tea Olive that blooms white and smells absolutely amazing. And then further down, pretty much some of the same things. Different types of camellias, but camellias nonetheless. And then further down, I have 2 ferns that I will definitely move. These two ferns are, I just didn't have anywhere to put them like last year or 2 years ago, and I just dropped them there, but they definitely don't belong here. I'll move them. And then finally, I have this beauty here, which is one of my favorite plants. You guys know I love me some Florida Sunshine Elysium. What a beauty, a highlight in the garden that actually is a yellowy green. But then in the winter, it turns even more yellow. And then behind that, I have a loropetalum that is supposed to grow up to 6 feet tall. I just put it in a couple of months ago, so it's not going to get to 6 feet anytime soon, but I definitely like the contrast between the two plants. But yeah, this is my foundation. Here we are pretty much at the end of 2025, guys. Let me know what you think and let me know what your foundation looks like at the end of the year. So I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time I did a Lowe's clearance video, it included a lot of containers. Now, I bought 2 new urns, and even in that video, I believe I mentioned the fact that I was going to pick up these 2 new urns. Now, these two little guys here, right? I had them before from a prior sale earlier on in the year. But this big guy here, this was actually usually in $100, guys, pretty much $99, and they had it half off. Now, there's nothing in here, but what I do have, I put another container in here and have the ornamental kale in here, but there's nothing actually in this yet because I haven't decided what to do, but I actually love it. You guys, and I bought 2. So you guys know I'm in my black era right now where I painted my shutters black. I'm changing up a lot of the containers in the front to black because I feel like it bounces off really, really nicely off this red brick. And it just looks more, it just looks nicer to me personally. Now you can see it still has the plastic on here. I haven't taken it off yet. And I'm not in a rush, really. I'm not in a rush to take it off because I don't have anything to put in there now. I mean, it's the end of the year. There's not much available out here. And I plan, to be honest with you, I plan not to put dirt in the actual urn. I'm going to find a way to put containers in the urn to prevent the urn from being extra heavy. But I just placed this guy in here because this is another container right here. The kale is in another container, which I happen to place in here. But I haven't put anything in these nice urns. I really, really like them. I find them to be kind of steep, but they are Allen and Roth. And you guys know I'm a big fan of Allen and Roth because I have a lot of the containers by that brand, and it looks really, really nice, and they have all these colors and designs for whatever you need. But let me know if you like urns and if you usually go with the light colored urns or the black. So here's a close-up of one of the trees that I will be cutting down on Tuesday, and I definitely will make a video on that to show you the guys who came and, hopefully they did a good job. But this is what it looks like. It's a pretty big trunk, guys. And like I said, I got a good deal for both trees, and I have an idea what I'm going to put here. I have a plan to put a fountain here, but that's later on, maybe next year or something. But this is what the tree looks like. It's not the healthiest tree, as you can see. Not only is it leaning towards my house, you can see this is where the root meets the ground, and it is dry. All these things, guys, in a matter of a day, these fell off that tree. So you can see the tree is definitely not healthy. So it definitely has to go. Here's another close-up of it right here. You can see it's not doing well one bit. I had put these guys here. Remember I told you I got these from my neighbor? I bought these from him and I wanted to make a retaining wall, and I just put them here, but I'm just not liking where it's at. So I think I'm going to move all these guys here and probably put them here between me and him to kind of create a little bit more of a formal garden. These things are quite heavy. I think one of these things is probably 50 pounds. This thing is heavy. So I can't do it in one go, but that's definitely something I would like to do to move it from here. And one of the reasons I want to move it too, because I feel like it's probably blocking water from running off. So when that water runs off here, it comes down here and it might block it. And the one thing I've always learned is never try to stop water from going where it wants to go. And that just becomes an issue. Places can stay too wet. Water can actually gut back up to where you don't want it to go. So I definitely will never try to stop water from flowing naturally. And I think I need to move these. So, and once I move it, I might not need to buy extra. Because remember I was saying that it just looks weird like that, right? Even though I wasn't done, I needed to buy more. So now that I decided to move it from here and take it here, so it will be the back of the garden right here, because right here is a low area where water kind of settles. I'm going to actually put them here in this line right there, right there between me and my neighbor. And it would look better, and it wouldn't look like weirdly just like in the middle of the yard, because I feel like it definitely looks kind of weird just sitting here. And so far, all the other plants that I've transferred, they're looking great. These are all the roses. Remember, I told you I was going to make a rose garden, and everybody's taken well to the transfer. So hopefully they will still make it, because rain is coming, guys. And with rain, you guys know roses don't like too much water, especially in the winter. But they will definitely get more sun. And that's another thing too. Once that tree gets cut down, guys, the amount of sun, once that tree goes, all this, because right now it's pretty much part shade, right? And right here is pretty much part sun. Once that tree gets cut down, it will be full sun. So I'm just so happy because, roses love full sun. And I might need to move a couple of things, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm a very, very happy person. Next thing I want to show you is my Yoshino cherry, guys. This guy here got it on clearance at Lowe's, and I'm happy to report that after I transferred it from a container to the ground, it's taken well. You can see it's all budded up. You see the buds right there, right? This is a spring bloomer. So after the spring, it will get on the leaves, and then it will just be a regular tree rest of the year, but it definitely does bloom the spring. Now, it is a beauty. I've seen this, and it is a beauty. Now, it's going to take a while for it to get to look like that, but you got to start somewhere. And I think I bought this guy yeah, it was usually 36, so I really only paid $18 for it. I need to kind of stake it, because with all that rain we're about to get and all that wind, this is going to get beat up a little bit. But I'm just so happy to report that it took well. Like I said, I'm pretty decent when it comes to transferring things. It's just those arborvitaes always get me, guys. All right, so here I am in the backyard. Not much to report except for the fact that, it still looks the same than the last time you saw it. Obviously, like I said, we were away for a while and nothing has been done. Pretty much everything that's supposed to go to sleep has gone to sleep. I do have quite a bit of evergreens. You guys know I'm a big fan of evergreens because I want my garden to still look like a garden when it's not in the middle of spring or summer, right? So a lot of things have gone to sleep, but things like the spring blooming azalea, they still have their leaves and they will bloom in the spring. This particular one here, is it the fashion azalea? Yes, this is the fashion azalea that blooms pink, and I do have another one that blooms white, right? You can see all the yellow anise or anise. These guys here are evergreen. They have that licorice smell when you brush against it, and they are in part sun and quite frankly part shade in Georgia, because this guy told me that those can actually be in the full sun. I don't believe him. I don't believe it, because we get some depressingly hot and humid days in June, July, and August, and I just don't want to stress my plants out. You're probably tired of hearing about this one, but my Daphne Adorer is still looking great. I am just so impressed so far, because I've heard such horror stories about how Daphne is so hard to keep alive. I've only had it for a couple of months, guys, but I'm holding on that it's going to do well. It's supposed to bloom in the winter. Don't know if it's going to bloom because I just bought it, and it's a small one. Not sure. Now, this one here, the paper bush, also known as Edgeworthia, this guy here lost all his leaves. And at first I was worried about it, but that's because I really didn't know any better. These guys actually bloom when the leaves are gone. And they're all gone. I'm hoping that it's still okay, because I was kind of worried. These guys are supposed to bloom yellow. They're white now, and they are a winter bloomer. It doesn't look like much. This is one of the plants that I had bought from Growers Outlet that I was so excited about. And I bought it for $18 in a 2-gallon. And I'm hoping it's okay, guys, because remember, I had forgotten to protect it after planting it. And we went into a freeze literally 3 weeks after I planted it. And I was hurriedly trying to protect other plants and totally forgot about this guy. It looks stressed out, but the fact that I read that it's supposed to bloom once all the leaves are gone, I'm going to definitely keep you updated on it. Moving further up, just a bunch of evergreens, guys. You've seen all these before. A lot of them, they might have a little purpley or browny color in the winter, but they're quite fine. So, for example, this guy here is the pancake arborvitae, and it's a nice green in the summer and the spring, but in the winter, it does have a little brown twinge. That guy here is the Rose Creek abelia, that again looks a browny purpley color in the winter. Here is the gardenia. This one is the Diamond Spire gardenia that you guys know I love, even though gardenia doesn't give me all the love I give it. I just really love this particular one here because it has this really nice foliage. You guys know this is Sunshine Ligustrum that takes really, really well to pruning. It grows extra yellow in the winter. Looks really, really great. I also have this guy here, which is my Chinese snowball viburnum. For whatever reason, it did not bloom this fall. Now, it definitely is a major spring bloomer, right? It blooms in the spring, but it does provide residual blooms in the fall. For whatever reason, it didn't bloom this year. It's not a problem. I bought this thing small, like really small, guys. It is literally 10 times the size of it. And this guy here has the potential to become a huge tree. So I might have to move it ultimately, but it definitely is a beautiful People confuse this guy here for hydrangea because I feel like it's whiter. Like it's even more white than a panicle hydrangea when it blooms. It has these huge snowball size hydrangea-like blooms, but this is not a hydrangea. This is a viburnum. You've seen me talk about this before, and I've already gave up on this guy here, the Camiacypris, right there, because I moved it, and I probably moved it at the wrong time, and it's just not going to make it. It's right next to a false mop cypress that is doing absolutely amazing. So this is definitely going to have to go, and I don't really cry too much over plants that have to go. It's just that when I'm invested in a plant and when a plant challenges me, I definitely try to do better. And I'm just sad that my Camiacypris is just not going to make it. But I feel better in the fact knowing that these conifers or these types of plants, arborvitaes, they really don't take well to transferring, and especially in Georgian hot heat and all that kind of stuff. But I'll see how it works out. I'm not going to move it right now because there's no need for me to dig it up right now, but it's definitely not going to make it for the next season. You probably saw my Dragon Prince Cryptomeria in a short as well. It's so funny, guys, because some of these conifers or arborvitaes, they do well for me, even though they're not supposed to do so well. And some of them just don't even try, But the Dragon Prince Cryptomeria, I've bought it on clearance at Lowe's. Probably paid $10 for this thing in a 2-gallon, and it just does really, really well for me. Moving over, again, more Nandina. You guys know I love me some Obsession Nandina right here. It's the winter time, so it's not as red, but it definitely gets a fiery red in the summertime and the spring. But what I do like about the winter version of this plant is that it has all these beautiful shades of red and pink and mauve and green. Really, really nice. Here is a color guard yucca. Now, the one that I always show you is that one that's right here that's pretty big, right? He's over there. And this guy has been growing fast lately. Because remember I told you I bought 5 of them. They were really, really small. I paid $11 for 1 gallon. And I thought to myself, wow, these are things are moving really slow. Why is one plant the only plant that's doing well? But this guy here is picking up steam. And remember, when I showed you guys this guy here as a plant of the week, I remember telling you during the colder months, it's going to start turning red. And you can see it right here. You see how it was yellow and green pretty much, but as it cools down, it has more of a red hue. You can see the filaments here. These white stringy things look like filaments. A really, really great plant for the winter, guys. It is evergreen. It is super hardy. Looks like something that should be in the tropics or something, but it can go down to zone 5. So one last time, guys, these are the plants that are going to go in that area when that tree gets cut down. I am super excited because I'm definitely going to get them in the ground, but also I'm excited because to get them away from where it is right now. The place is looking kind of, disheveled and messy, and I can't wait to get them from the back of the yard to put them where they need to be. There's a bunch of different things here, guys, from butterfly bush to these guys here, which I've had bad luck with before, and I couldn't wait to get them in the ground. This is the golden euonymus. I've got roses, scabiosa, butterfly bush, daisies, crepe myrtles, azaleas, loropetalum, all kinds of stuff back here, guys, that I can't wait to get in the ground. So definitely more videos coming more often as the new year comes around. So you might have seen these. These are hellebore, also known as Lenten rose. I did a short the other day showing you them because I was just so happy and excited about them. They bloom in the early winter into spring. They are a shade plant and they are evergreen for me, right? So if I zoom in, you're going to see not only are they budded up, some of these things are trying to bloom right now, guys. Some of these things are trying to bloom, do a bloom like maybe in the next 5 days, this thing will actually open. Now, when they come out of dormancy, right, because they don't like the heat, they like the cooler weather. When they come out of dormancy, they bring their newer leaves right there with them, and I will cut these older ones off, right? So they definitely is a steady evergreen, except they produce new foliage the next year. So this is going to be more of a whitey one, and this one is going to be more of a pinky red, right? Now, these two I got from Home Depot, and they were $20 each. They are not the cheapest plants out there, guys, because they are very slow to grow. So usually when you buy them, it could be $20 for one, $30 for one, $40 one. Some people really like these things, and people spend some serious money on hellebore. And if you go back into my videos, you'll hear me complain about the fact that these things are expensive, but I've really grown to like them. Now, like I said, those two were from Home Depot, but those little ones here were from my county's annual sale, and they too are all budded up. Let me know if you like hellebore or Lenten rose and how they do in your yard. All right, guys, that is pretty much it for me here this evening. Now you can see my solar lights are on, and that's because I'm actually recording this video later than usual. Usually when I do my Sunday walkabout, it's in the morning or the early afternoon, but this is after 5 p.m. And as we know, after 5 p.m. is dark these days, guys. But I have quite a bit of solar lights in my backyard. It's not really showing off a lot right now because the garden's asleep, things are looking brown, and it's kind of dark, but I do have solar lights. But anyway, let me know what you think, guys. How is your garden doing at the end of the year? Are you working on any projects? Have you cut back? Are you done pruning? Are you still watering? All that. Let me know what you think, guys. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Remember to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted on all my new videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.